powered by Reviting, streaming from the Reviting Digital Studio. It's the David Daily. Exploring frontier technology, artificial intelligence, quantum innovation, and the intersection of faith, funding, and the future. Here's your host, David Goki.
Hello. Welcome to Funding, Faith, and Future, episode number 30. We finally made it to 30 episodes. Can you believe it? Today is the 30th episode in a row. We have gone live every single day in a row. And today we're doing a special behind the scenes edition. We don't typically do a behind the scenes edition. We typically get straight into current events. What's up, Wineberry? But today we're going to be present in the comments. So if you're commenting for the first time, if you're seeing this for the first time, I see folks across TikTok. Love TikTok Shop. So if you're on TikTok Shop this season, you're thinking about gifts for the new year, or you want to get a good deal, check out TikTok Shop. I'm currently promoting a magnetic portable SSD drive. It's very theme appropriate for a technology podcast. We talk about future technology on this show. And we really love that we have people joining in from all over the world. So today we're doing a behind the scenes edition. And today we have the headset on. And part of that reason is because we had a family emergency this morning, which does happen. If you're going live every single day for 30 days in a row, there's bound to be a schedule conflict. There's bound to be something that pops in the middle of it. And that's why we have a special edition today talking about the behind the scenes of the David Daily and behind the scenes special edition. So that's why we're here. And really want to talk a little bit about some of the current events that are going on in our world today, specifically as it relates to funding, specifically as it relates to AI strategy and innovation, also leadership in uncertain times. We recently did a church poll, and a large portion of the audience said that we are living in an uncertain time. And that's exactly what I'm talking about when I say we are living in uncertain times. Now, what does uncertain times mean? What I mean by uncertain times is that if you're in the chat, you can maybe drop the word uncertain. So I hear that you're listening. And that means that it's the opposite of certain. Okay. And certain means known or defined, right? It's known, fixed, decided, or known. And if you're living in a masculine interpretation of that, you know that means you're making decisions, you're moving forward, it's structured, it's fixed, it's known, and it has a conviction and a clarity around it. So today we're going to do a little bit of a behind the scenes version of the show and showing, hey, yeah, this actually is a lot to do with certainty and uncertainty. And as a result, we want you to know that that's how we think about certainty, is it's known. It's a decision. It's something that you know. And that's why we have a special behind the scenes edition today of Funding, Faith, and Future. Now, the subtext of this is in an uncertain timing, right? We know that those who are showing up, making decisions are actually going to be even more evaluated for those decisions in uncertain times. Let me break that down. So in an uncertain time, you will be asking yourself, what is certain in my life? Do I have security, John? Right? I see John in the chat. And I also see Gorilla Tag Duo CMB. Thank you so much for joining. What do I see in the future of the uncertain time? And so if you're like me, you might be ADHD a little bit. You might have a little attention deficit. So on a behind the scenes issue, we want to see, okay, how do you actually go live? So here is a live feed, a live stream right here, right? So we're looking at how this actually behaves and works. We also see all sorts of things behind the scenes. So in a world where we know that the unseen thing will be revealed, and the unseen thing is actually in an uncertain time. All right. So in uncertainty, there's also often unseen things. So especially around New Year, you have said New Year is an unseen thing, right? It's an unseen thing. And so when I know that I have an unseen thing, then there's most likely going to be some uncertainty around that. So the whole purpose of this live show is to educate not only myself, because I'm the first person who needs to learn, but also others, and create a culture of learning. And so that's the first thing we do every morning. We wake up and we run our day. We look at our daily updates. So every morning there's a daily update that sits on my computer, right? On my machine, that from a certain time produces certain results. And that's one of the reasons why we're on content every morning, because we've committed to that, right? So if you're thinking about LinkedIn marketing, if you're thinking about behind the scenes of David Daily, if you're tuning in because our host Reviting Worldwide is on Twitch, or you're on the David J. Goki on Twitch, or maybe you're a gamer. You know, if I'm just talking to people out there who are gamers, Cottonmouth, good to see you here in the chat. We have lots of folks who are watching, and even sometimes across all major platforms. And the reason why we're so consistent every single day is because there's a certainty that by 12 o'clock, you're going to see some aspect of my face in your feed. And that provides consistency. So a long terms, in terms of consistency and prediction, you have AI strategy and leadership in uncertain time. So when it comes to the future technology, because that's one of our topics on the show, we actually love to talk about the future. All right, what is going to happen in the future? How do we get to a place of future technology, and how do we build that LinkedIn marketing aspect on future technology, right? If you want to be doing well on LinkedIn, you'd be looking at LinkedIn as a platform. And so that's one of the reasons why even on TikTok, we share a lot about LinkedIn, because we believe that LinkedIn is the platform of the future. And so you can actually go to your LinkedIn platform and you can search for certain things and statistics to see what is doing well. You can see what content is doing well. You can see what statistics and analytics. You can always go to your insights, your analytics on platform to say, yeah, this is what's doing well. So when you think about a spike, we want to have certainty in our topics, right? We want to know that every single day we're going to hear the latest faith, the latest funding, and the latest future. So that's what we do today. So today's a special episode behind the scenes. So what we do is, the first thing we do is we go to our little AI supplementing support. And the reason why I say supplementing support is that AI will never replace your brain, okay? It will never replace your brain, okay? Yeah, thank you for hearts in the chat. Appreciate you who are watching. AI will never replace your brain. Did you know that? Did you know that AI will never replace your brain? Sahil Khan, it's good to see you. We've got lots of folks. Maybe even get some comments. YouTube says, do I like waffles? Yes. Waffles are delicious. Waffles are a delicious, delicious snack. So we're actually here on a special behind the scenes episode. And so that's why we really care about these behind the scenes episodes. So as we think about the future of technology, we're looking at concepts like AI will never replace you. And that gives us certainty in times of uncertainty. That gives us clarity when things are unclear, right? From a marketing point of view, we can lean in to the camera and say hello. And we could say, I have certainty about what is going on in my life. And that is a leadership principle as you think about how to build leadership in an uncertain time. And as a result, we focus on decisions that we have control over, the things that we can say or do, and how we can apply that to our leadership, no matter what our situation is like. And I'm the first person to be unqualified to talk about leadership. I learn leadership from the greats, and there are different styles of leadership, of course. But when it comes to uncertainty in leadership, you need certain leaders, people who make decisions that you can rely on. And the AI is influencing that mindset and that strategic choice, especially in leaders. Hope on pain ends. Thank you for joining the chat. Guys, we have lots of folks joining. Thank you so much. Just taking a quick intermission here, welcoming everyone from the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I like to welcome people on TikTok before the show. People to join the chat, especially when you join, your name is greeted. So we're going to do a special behind the scenes welcoming of people joining. Hope, it's good to have you on the show. Nina, good to see you as well. Got people streaming from all over coming on the feed and watching it today. So AI will never replace your brain. Technology will never replace your brain. And so we think about these concepts early on. We will get our act together after we colonize Mars. Nice. The Last Laugh says we will colonize Mars. This is awesome. I'm just going to show you this because it's kind of funny. Flip the camera here and show you after we colonize Mars, we will get our act together. That's pretty funny. So after we colonize Mars, we will get our act together, hopefully. So yeah, I'm a fan of that on this show. Just saying, yeah, the fan of future faith and tech. But actually, it is important that you actually see that we actually have the ability to think about the future. And space travel and colonization is an aspect of that. We know that space travel, even ChatGPT and OpenAI recently came out and said that, oh yeah, we're going to be focusing on space travel. We're going to be focusing on the future of our ecosystem, sustainability. We're going to be focused on how can we make our world a better place. And one way that we do that is by making sustainable decisions and being sustainable in our workflows and all the things that we're doing. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to welcome people in who are joining. If you're joining in, please comment in the chat where you're joining from. Would love to see where you're joining from. And we're just going to welcome more people joining in. So Ray Francisco, good to see you in the chat. And yeah, these emojis are pretty awesome. Love that. So this is a behind the scenes episode. So if you are not following me yet on TikTok, please follow me on TikTok. What's up, Ty? It's good to see you. We have a special behind the scenes episode of Faith Future, behind the scenes of Faith and Future Tech. And if you haven't caught episode, I believe it was 19, where we went through the top 10 Arabian startups in the Gulf region, that is a good spot to be on, to check that out. Really appreciate behind the scenes of Faith and Future Tech. What's up, Cars? Good to have you here. We have lots of folks joining on TikTok. Love to see you all joining. So thank you so much. If you're on TikTok Shop, check out our SSD that we have pinned on there, and you can be part of the magic as well. So then we typically would go into our news segment of the show. And what I love about the current events or news segment of the show, it's your boy Link. Oh, what's up, Link? We have Link in the chat. Good to see you. And welcome to all the new people joining and still watching. Thank you so much. This is really fun for me. And today is a special behind the scenes episode showing you exactly how we do this, how we build exactly what we want to build each and every day. And the special behind the scenes episode is really focused on the future of technology, the future of AI, the future of quantum as we know it. We see a lot of investments happening in the quantum space, so we're excited for that. And at this point, I'm going to pull up my news feed and share with you exactly how this gets built. So this is a behind the scenes episode of Run the David Daily for December 30th, 2025. And if you're curious why I'm in this construction jacket, maybe you're curious, like, why does he have that bright jacket on? He has that bright jacket on because we had a little bit of a personal family situation this morning where there was a car on the side of the road that needed to be rescued. So we're very grateful that we're in proximity to be able to make that happen. But on this episode of Funding, Faith, and Future, as we look to exactly the future of technology, we're actually looking at how do we generate this with the power of AI. So at this point, we're going to take a quick media asset break and come back after this quick interlude. Nice to see people in the chat, Funding, Faith, and Future. Welcome to the joining of the chat. So right now, I just want to say that this is a special behind the scenes issue and episode of the David Daily Show, coming to you every single day. This is exactly how we do it. What we do is we ask AI. First of all, we ask AI, okay, generate the David Daily for today, December 30th. And what that does is it shows us a description of all of the things that you have on your AI right here. So basically, our only command at the top here, as you can see when it comes back into focus, is run the David Daily for December 2020. December 30th, 2025. And then I now have Morning Maria, some quantum stuff, and some technology, funding, and maybe some device stuff. So like right here, it's the daily show, daily live stream, talk show, and podcast on the David Daily. And we switch over our little switcher behind the scenes right here. So you can now see this. And ideally, we have a producer that is producing this, so you can actually see it. But yeah, we have hosted by David. And then we're actually going to just go through. This is our scroll ticker. So we're just going to read through this after a quick message from our sponsors. A stream near you. So today's David Daily closes out the year with a forward-looking lens. We break down late December market positioning where AI infrastructure, quantum computing, and actually AI infrastructure capital is flowing, and how quantum computing expectations are being recalibrated heading into 2026. We also explored the intersection of capital discipline, long-term conviction, and human purpose as leaders prepare for a new cycle. We close the Beyond the Bag, focusing on clarity, restraint, and positioning before momentum returns. And that's our master ticker. So markets are steady into year end with light volume and positioning trades. AI infrastructure spend shifts from hype to utilization and margins. Data centers, energy access, and chips drive real AI leverage. Quantum computing expectations normalize ahead of 2026 pilots, and big tech focuses on efficiency and not expansion into Q1. Capital patience becomes a competitive advantage. And that's where we go into our first segment, which is Market and Capital Snapshot for today, for our 30th episode of Behind the Scenes with the David Daily. We got Carrie coming in saying good morning, just doing a quick check on comments. We've got folks joining. We got Akko and others. Thank you so much for joining on the feed and the stream this morning. So now we're moving right along to our other aspects of the show. We're doing a special behind the scenes special edition. So thank you, TikTok, for being live with us today. We absolutely love that you guys are checking us out. So in this next segment, we have our market and capital snapshot. So every day we generate this with our AI. We're on 5.2. Year-end liquidity is thin and signal matters more than noise. There's a lot of noise out there in the markets today. Institutions are preparing for a January rebalancing. What exactly does that mean? We'll dive into that future. Winners are already funded. Losers will feel it fast. So we've had special folks already funded on here. And cash flow beats storytelling right now. We need to see cash in the bank. What is cash flow telling us about where the market is moving? All right, secondly, we have our second segment on AI infrastructure reality check. So GPUs are only part of the stack. Power, cooling, and data pipelines decide outcomes. Enterprises want ROI, not demos. And builders who solve boring problems will win. We love that on the David Daily. We also see that quantum reset is not a retreat, fewer headlines, but better experiments. So quantum's coming out with better experiments. We see timelines are stretching credibility, improves. Also, software simulation and hybrid models lead. And 2026 is not about promises, it's about proofs. That's a big piece of it. Then beyond the bag, so we want to end the year well. Clarity beats urgency. Restraint creates leverage. So saying no creates leverage. Faith informs direction, not fear. And position now and press later. So we're just going to flip the camera here and show you exactly what that looks like here as we close the show on our special behind the scenes episode. Mike G, number 19. What's up? I'm not following all the comments. Good to see you. Sackboy, great. Nice to see you. We've got Nina in the chat with 8-ball and a jaguar. We've got Butterfly with the heart face and butterfly. We've got W King with 2 king emojis in your name. We got Dustin Coulter. Appreciate you for joining. And many, many others across all major platforms. Thank you for joining today on the David Daily, episode number 30. Now, beyond the bag, we actually did a very special filming today, long form of the first 2-3 things in my bag. And I recently changed out to this North Face bag, which is a North Face 30-liter bag. And I particularly like it a lot because it carries more, is the short of it. I have, of course, this bag, which is my Herschel black travel bag. It's a very nice, light, I would say like an express commuter bag. So we have an express commuter bag right here that we carry very often. I have traveled for at least a week with just this backpack to both warm and cold temperatures. So that does work very well. And then moving right up the chain on our special segment of Beyond the Bag, Anchor Edition, we actually have what I want to say right here is another bag. I'm just going to update this. So we have this bag is right. Gilberto, good to see you. Hola, Gilberto. Hablo español. It's so funny the way I say it. Hablo español. Yo hablo español muy poco en México y poquito en poco. Yo hablo español poco. Sí, yo hablo poco español. So this is a Doomy bag, and I really like this because it's got like that executive vibe. All right, go clean. Bye, Nina and T Preezy. Good to see you on here. So we have this executive bag called the Toomey bag. It is probably about 25 liters, a little bit larger. And then we have the North Face, which I just showed you. And then this is now maybe a 40, 50. Actually, I think this might be 60 liter. So this is the backpacking bag that I have for across all of Central America. So this is a very special bag, one of my favorite bags that I have. It is it's like literally an off-brand name bag, but I really like the size of it and the capability and functionality. It worked very, very well for me while in Guatemala. And that is why I have Beyond the Bag. So Beyond the Bag is a segment of talking about where are my future travels going. So right now we have Tennessee on the map. We have Central America as well as Medellin, Colombia, which is where we're going to focus in our travels next. In El Salvador, we have good connections in El Salvador, and we'll be exploring the countryside, then now going down into Nicaragua and Honduras, now Panama, and then Costa Rica. And when we get to Costa Rica and Panama, we'll be at the southernmost tip of Central America, going into South America, then going into Colombia and Ecuador, and then now Peru and Chile, going over to Patagonia and Argentina, Paraguay and Uruguay, and some of those French Caribbean islands on the South American side. What's up, Weirdo and Woo Woo? Thank you for joining. Nice. If you have woo-woo in your name, then maybe you're woo-woo. But woo-wooers like to travel. And so in our special segment, Beyond the Bag, we also talk about travel and future of full-time travel. What's up, Eli? Good to see you in the chat. So great to have everybody in the chat today. And that rounds up our behind the scenes portion of the show. Santiago Pro 67. What is up, Santiago Pro 67? I see you in the chat. Big ol' shout out to you in the chat today. Love it when I have just someone who's just carrying that meme just a little bit too far. Like, you already had this cultural phenomenon happen. So I just wanted to say, Hola Santiago Pro 67. I'll say that directly into the camera. Hola Santiago Pro 67. Hola Santiago Pro 67. And on that, we are finished with our behind the scenes, beyond the bag anchor segment. And folks, guess what? We have one day left in December. Tomorrow is a brand new day. It is a brand new, beautiful day. It's a New Year's Eve day. Beautiful, brand new day tomorrow. Charles Miracle says, Hola, papi, in the chat. And Cam sent me 10 roses. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. And we have a lot of folks who are coming in to say hello on TikTok in the chat. Let's go. It's now 12 o'clock noon. We end this show by 12 every day, streaming on David Daily. And that is what we're talking about today. And with that, we are on the outro.